Yes. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Arsenal X, NGR Radio's Xbox podcast. As always, we throw up the X.
Only 2 this week.
Yes, because we are about to throw down. I am your host, Eddie V. Joining me is boss man, Mr. Corey Derrick.
Ed, no, you're Eddie Fresh now.
Remember? Eddie Fresh. Oh, yes. So I have been blessed with a new name, but I want to save it for next year. But yes, everybody, I'm probably gonna be introducing myself as Eddie Fresh. Joining me, like I said, is boss man, Mr. Corey Derrick.
I'm here. I don't have a cool nickname. I'm white.
Well, that's why I call you boss man, because you're the boss of NGR, and I'm employed by you.
Man.
Everybody, our wise Wisconsinite, Mr. Jesse Douglas, could not make this episode. He is gearing up for a lot of things, so he kind of needs his rest, needs to take a break and get ready for the things that are upcoming. But we have a great show for you guys, so we're going to jump into what's been in our arsenal. And Corey, let us know what's been in your arsenal.
Well, I've been playing a little bit of Madden, as you know, my struggles with Madden. Let me tell you what happened this week in Madden. Even though I just, earlier tonight, before we started recording, I played 2 games and won them both, so that was pretty exciting. But it's because there was no technical hiccups. It's magical. So let me find these. Dude, the other day it was crazy. So before I do that, let me share with you some online stats for Madden, for Xbox at least, just for Xbox.
Uh-huh.
At prime time at night, like between like 9 and 11, there were only 1,039 people online for Madden on Xbox. 1,039 people. And only 98 people were looking for games on Xbox.
Wow.
Yeah.
Did they say anything about PlayStation?
No. This was the stats while I was on Xbox online. Because they give you the number of people online playing, and then the number of people looking for a game, and the number of people in the lobbies. So that was the stats, because I don't go into the lobbies, but it still tells you how many people are online. So
I don't think that game sold well at all on any platform.
I don't think Madden sold well either, dude. Like, I mean, I'm sure it's sold because it's Madden, but like,
yeah,
and it's November, I guess, but like at the same time, it's like I don't think that game sold very well.
Right.
So
like, and I really don't know how sales are doing for the holiday season. I'm just like, did anybody pick this up? Like, I don't even think it was in a lot of Black Friday ads or anything.
Yeah, I don't know what's happening, but like it's I don't know if people are having the same issues I've been having. Man, we sure have a long conversation. There it is. Okay, so let me tell you my issues. Not today, but probably like Thursday night, I think we were having this conversation. Maybe.
Friday.
Was it Friday? Okay.
It was Friday, yeah.
Okay, so here are the things that went wrong tonight. One, my QB was called for holding on a pass play. The quarterback was called for holding on a pass play. There was wind. There's wind resistance in a dome.
That really threw me for a loop. I'm like, how the heck did that happen?
Playing in the Superdome against the Saints, and there's wind. So explain that one. Because the dome is always closed.
Right.
Let's see. 3, called 2 timeouts and the clock did not stop. Which is, the whole point of a timeout is to stop the clock.
Exactly.
4, I intercepted the ball and it put me back on defense. That all happened within 2 games.
What?
On Friday, yeah. I clearly intercepted the ball. There's like no fumble on the play, no flags or anything.
Yeah.
And it put me back on defense. So
I have never heard of that happening.
I mean, for some reason, I don't know if this is just an Xbox problem. I don't know if I'm the only person experiencing these problems, but yeah. Ugh. So
They slapdashed this game or something, or they didn't check no kind of bugs for this.
I don't know. I know since they moved over to Frostbite, they've been having a lot of kind of like animation issues, which, again, let me tell you about stuff that happened today, even though I won both games. Dude, people can jump obscenely high in Madden. Just like absurdly high. And I don't know.
Are we talking about like Crackdown high?
Not that high, but it's, let's just say in a simulation football game, they should not be able to jump this high. And I was like, and I put it on like instant replay or whatever, just to see. And like, they're like a whole human being high off the ground.
Wow.
And like, I know certain players can jump super high, but it kind of is really crossing
NBA Live
Ooh.
Nonsense.
Well, they canceled that game for a reason 4 years in a row. So, but
no, it actually came out this year.
I know. I heard it's actually all right, except when you go up against a game like 2K. There's no room to be just all right. So,
wow, true.
But I actually think the animation in NBA Live is done well. So, I don't know, but Madden keeps selling, so they're just gonna keep going. But I don't know how it sold this year. I don't know. It's only been on the NPD one other month since it's come out. Like, it was in the NPD for August, but I think it was only in the NPD for September afterwards. So I don't know, man.
And it's weird because I think, personally for me, I feel like Dead Cells be out Madden.
It feels that way, but I think it's just because more people are talking about it. I don't think Dead Cells outsold Madden, but it feels that way.
Right, because I'm just like, folks.
It's because Dead Cells is good.
Oh yeah, like people bought the digital version, but everybody was waiting for physical, whether it's PlayStation or Switch, mostly Switch, and so that's why I just feel like I don't think because nobody talked about Madden, nobody talked about NHL, nobody talked about NBA, like all of EA Sports games, nobody talked about, not even FIFA, and I'm like, what's going on?
I know, and I actually tweeted at EA and at Madden and said I was trying to be nice about it, but like I was just like, there's a lot of glaring issues when playing online. Is there a way to fix this stuff? And like, then I said hashtag put Madden on Switch, and they did not respond, unsurprisingly. Yeah. But yeah, that was Madden's been a huge issue since I bought it, and like I want to like Madden, I want to enjoy it, but it's just like I as much fun as I've had with Madden this year, it's just like I really regret purchasing it, because like when I bought FIFA last year and what I've played this year, FIFA runs fine on Switch. Like, FIFA runs great. I wish they would use that engine on all their sports games because it runs great. It's fluid. Like, even when I was playing Madden and offline, like, I was doing the franchise mode and whatever, and it's like, it's still like laggy and slow. And they custom made the engine for Switch. Yeah, I know. Which is a better engine than the one that they're shoving out the door for Madden. Now, granted, they're different games, whatever, but yeah, and it's kind of bad.
You said they use a frostbite, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're showing this age, then they need to do something about that.
Yeah. FIFA on Switch, by the way, it's only $40 on Amazon if anybody wants it. The Xbox version is also only $40.
Nice.
So,
I think that's going to be a big problem for EA, and hopefully it doesn't draw concerns for Anthem.
The thing is like they don't see the problems because people are playing Ultimate Team, which is what I think the real problem is like so many people are playing Ultimate Team instead of the game.
Yeah.
That EA doesn't see any problems with just selling that because they're making I think off of Madden and FIFA Ultimate Team last year, they made something like $900 million off Ultimate Team alone.
Well, FIFA's definitely big in Europe, so
yeah. Well, that's understandable, but I'm whenever this because like what I do is like I use my Amazon store card. But like to buy games on Amazon, and then I'll pay it off before I make another purchase the next month, right?
Yeah.
So as soon as this payoff goes through, I might get FIFA on Switch.
But I really wonder because even they was talking about Battlefield 5, and they was talking about all the problems that's running on that game. And we'll talk a little bit of that in the show, but they feel like for $60 you're getting a complete incomplete game on everything. And I'm just like, what the heck you mean incomplete on everything? And it pop up on a Frostbite engine? Like I didn't experience any problems in the beta, but that was the beta. This is the real version, and I know they use Frostbite, but I'm just like, if this is going to be a problem, EA needs to do something about Frostbite. They need to get rid of it, or they need to reinvent a new engine.
Well, the problem, I mean, we'll get into it with Battlefield later, but the problem with Battlefield is it was just rushed out. There's no question about it. Half the game is missing. You got one whole section of the campaign missing. They're not necessarily bugs, but there's just things that people say aren't balanced. Like the time to kill is super slow.
Yeah,
and it's just like the spotting is only dedicated to one class now. There's just a lot of issues people are having with this. So, although I guess a lot of YouTubers and streamers actually like the spotting being condensed to one class, which I don't know. I'm not a Battlefield guy, so I don't really know what to say, but it was kind of nice have like you not having to worry about one class telling you where people were. But anyways, we'll talk about that when we get into the Battlefield stuff tonight. But
yeah.
Madden's been rough, man, and like I said, I'm like super close to deleting it off my system, except there's gonna be that one time where we have visitors and they want to play Madden because it's Madden, and I'm gonna have to re-download it. But
if I was you, I'd be like, be forewarned. This game is kind of janky, so embrace the jank.
Yeah, So, and then Matt on Nerds Gone Rogue the other day tried to convince me to buy Hitman 2, right? Because Season 2 just came out. And I was like, oh yeah, sure, I'll get that when I get paid. And I was like, let me play Hitman 1 first and see how I like it. Because I was like, man, with the DLC, and I was just going to get the package where it included Season 1 and Season 2's kind of engine or whatever. I was like, let me download Hitman 1 off of Game Pass first, and let me play that. And boy, am I glad I did that. not I. Let me preface this conversation by saying this: Hitman is not a bad game. It's actually a very mechanically sound game and a very interesting game. I hate it. I hate how slow it is. I hate how patient you have to be to get like the high scores and whatever. And I want to like, I don't know. I just don't like it. And it's not that it's a bad looking game, and it's not that it's a bad controlling game or whatever. It actually controls very nicely. I just can't stand stealth games. And like waiting, and because like I played for like 2 hours. Like I played the introductory mission, and then I moved into the first like real, like I think the first area is Paris. And I spent a whole lot of those 2 hours just waiting for things to happen. And I know that that's the whole point of the game, and like you're supposed to wait and figure it out like a puzzle.
Yeah.
But man, it just is not for me. So I'm
being methodical.
Yeah, I'm just gonna let Matt handle all the Hitman stuff because he loves it, and that's great. But it's just like, man, this is not for me. I want to go in and like shoot stuff. I want to GoldenEye this whole level.
Right. I have Hitman for PS3. The one that I guess is like a red cover. And my first one was Hitman 2 on GameCube. And I could not finish that game because it was just like, it was a snow level and it was a bug in it. And it wouldn't let me progress. And I'm like, oh, dang it. So I couldn't finish it. I'm kind of fine with some stealth games. Hitman is a weird one. Because it's just like, okay, I could play Deus Ex and get through that, but I can't do Hitman. And Deus Ex is like a stealth, but yet if you get into a gun battle, you could just shoot everybody and get through it.
There's a difference between Deus Ex and Splinter Cell versus Hitman, right? Where like, those games you actually have to like for example, and Splinter Cell has actually gotten better. And personally, for me, Splinter Cell's gotten better. Because like Blacklist and Conviction were actually really, I really liked Conviction. I know a lot of people are kind of like, it's not really a Splinter Cell game, but I thought Blacklist found a nice balance between like the old, like the original trilogy's stealth kind of mechanics and action, you know, and you could actually play that whole game stealthily, but like there's a point where like, in Splinter Cell, if you want to be stealth, you hide in the shadows, but you're still moving and you're still working towards your objective. Whereas in Hitman, like in the training level, you have to pretend to be a bartender, and it says press B to blend in. And I literally stood there for 10 minutes, like looking at my target without doing anything. You're just supposed to listen to what he's having a conversation about, right? And it's like, man, I do not have time for this. I get very little game time every week, and I cannot spend it doing this. Like I did, right. I literally put my controller down and started playing on my phone because just listening to this conversation, and it was probably like at least 5 minutes, which is an eternity in video game land.
Right.
So,
wow.
I just. Look, it's a good game, and you know, I think the costume stuff is super interesting, but if you want to go in there pretending it's like Call of Duty, you cannot do that.
Right.
So to be fair, I got a perfect score on the training level, so
and I can understand that, you know, you got to be kind of methodical throughout it, but I'm just like, if you got to do a lot of waiting, no.
So I played a little bit of that. I will not be purchasing Hitman Season 2. I'm sorry. I want IO to succeed, and I wish them all the best, but I will not be purchasing any Hitman game. So
wait for it to come to Game Pass. next year.
Even then, I probably won't even do that.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna free up that hard drive space for Crackdown and Anthem. So
true, that is true.
Oh, dude, how good does Crackdown look? I cannot wait. Dude, every time I see a commercial with or a trailer with Terry Crews in it, I'm like, yeah, Terry Crews can get you hyped up for anything. It could be a game. It could be a game about throwing rocks, and Terry Crews could be in it. I'd be like, yep, I'm in.
We got two more weeks. I mean, not 2 more weeks. Got 2 more months.
I know.
So
it's gonna be awesome. So I what else did I play? A little bit of Destiny 2. Nothing really new to report. I'm excited for Black Armory, except that I still have no one to play with. So
I'm trying to get there.
And what's surprising about Black Armory is there's a new raid coming, which is interesting considering they only put out one raid all of year 1, and now there's already 2 new raids. So
wow. It was I was listening to Fireteam Chat from IGN, and I was just like, dang, I missed a whole bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
this game.
I mean, there's a lot of stuff that, yeah. I still, even though I don't play all the time anymore, I still pay attention to Destiny a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I've probably played at least once a week since launch, and it just has not, like, I've missed stuff. So, but yeah, Destiny still feels good to play. I finally kind of got into finding weapons and stuff again instead of just grinding out the stuff for the story stuff. So it's been fun, but I would really like to man, it's just not fun when you're playing by yourself. That game is definitely made to be played with friends, and like friends grinding for the same stuff, and like that's like the fun of Destiny, and it's hard playing by yourself. So I've been playing a little bit of that, and then what else have I been playing? Oh, I went back to Shadow of the Tomb Raider to try to 100% it. I took a little bit of time off because, like, you know, once you play a game for that long, sometimes you just need to put it down and come back to it.
Yeah. You might actually be ahead of me percentage wise.
Well, I'm at 96% now.
Oh yeah, you're ahead of me.
I've cleaned up all the areas except for the hidden city. So
okay. I know I need to go. Like I said, I still need to go get the lockpick, and then that'll help me get the rest of the stuff.
Yeah.
Because I think I'm almost got all the costumes. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
but
I have no idea if I'm even close to getting all the costumes, but I guess I could look that up. But there's a couple
side missions.
Well, not even that. There's like a couple. No, because I did most of the side missions already. There's some like crypts and some the statues. What do you call them? Oh,
I know what you mean. Like the ones that you read and stuff.
Yeah, like there's a couple I need to get of those.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
and like they're in like this really weird area where like I don't know how to get to them. So I'm gonna have to look it up. I just haven't been patient, like had enough time to like sit down and open up a guide and do all this stuff. So, because like I would like to 100% that game at least, and so and once I get all this stuff, I'll have close to 1,000 achievement points. Although I think there's more now because of the DLC, because I think the Forge stuff came out. But so I've been playing that, and that game's still really solid action game. I really hope people bought it over Black Friday because it was super cheap.
Yeah.
So
which is so weird that these folks complained about Shadow of the Tomb Raider and not Fallout 76.
Oh no, dude! Everybody's complaining about Fallout 76.
But with the price drop, like
they're complaining
2 weeks after.
Oh, they're complaining.
They're complaining for a whole bunch of other reasons. But I think the price drop part.
The canvas bag that they switched out to be a nylon bag.
Oh goodness, that nightmare! And that's literally why I did not put no Fallout 76 in Arsenal's.
Let me tell you what, man. Like, how long have we been saying that Skyrim and Fallout are janky messes?
Yes.
Or not just Skyrim, but Elder Scrolls in general. Which, look, on the original Xbox, Morrowind, and then Oblivion on 360, like, them building that stuff was super impressive for the time, right? Like, and a little bit of jank with that amount of memory and stuff was fine. And Skyrim, it was funny to watch, like, the flying horse videos and whatever, but, like, it really started to show itself, man. And then when Fallout 4 came out after Metal Gear 5 and The Witcher, like, that really raised a lot of red flags for me in terms of, like, I don't think Bethesda games are good. And it's weird because we like Bethesda games that aren't developed in-house, you know, like we love Doom, we love the Wolfenstein games, we like The Evil Within is a solid horror game. Rage 2 looks to be good, maybe. You know, like, we're super interested in like Prey and Dishonored and those games too. Like, yeah, it's the Bethesda in-house developed games that are like, ooh, man. And they said they're using that engine for Starfield and Elder Scrolls 6.
And that's going to be problematic.
You really expect me to believe you're going to make a game about space on that engine?
If you want to really lose a fan base, not what like Blizzard did with Diablo Immortal, not that craziness, but if you want to lose a fan base, you announce that you're using a broken engine and you're not planning on fixing it anytime soon. Oh, you're going to lose a lot of people.
Let me tell you what, I know they're not exactly the same thing, but like, once Cyberpunk comes out and you know how polished CD Projekt Red makes their games,
yes,
regardless of like what you think of The Witcher, that game is pretty polished. You know,
Witcher 3 is really good.
I mean, the combat's a little wonky, but they've fixed it. They've patched the combat a lot. They've taken the feedback and like fixed it and stuff. Like, Fallout 76 is in a No Man's Sky situation right now.
Yes.
And like, it was a miracle that No Man's Sky relaunched the way it did, right? And but that horror story of launch still lingers over that game, you know, to the point where like people were still didn't want to replay it, you know, and like, look, the thing is like, No Man's Sky only has a 12-man team, and that team put in the work to fix the game, and it was fixed 2 years after it launched.
I think it was all the hype that this game had promised, and
part of that's on Sony too for marketing the game in a way that where like maybe it wasn't what they said it was, you know.
Yes,
but
and just like,
but Fallout has a team of 150 people that, you know, ZeniMax Interactive is not a small company,
right?
You know.
And I think everybody's arguing just like, how do you go from Elder Scrolls Online to Fallout 76?
Yeah, well, the Elder Scrolls Online has its own engine, and it's not done in-house. It's done by ZeniMax Online, so, which they probably should have like taken some notes off of that game.
Mm-hmm. Well, and I think that's what a lot of people didn't realize. It's just like Fallout and Elder Scrolls Online are, you know, from two different developers or within the company, but it's just like y'all didn't go over there and see what they was doing to learn it. Y'all just pretty much took Fallout 4 and changed some things.
I mean, that in a worse way, this game is on the same trajectory as that game, though, because like that game had a really rough launch too.
Yes.
And
but it didn't have
they turned around and just overhauled it and made it, and like that game is, from all accounts, like my cousin plays it, like he loves that game, and like for me, I heard a lot of people say this online, but like Fallout 76 might be in a Final Fantasy 14 situation.
Yikes.
Where like, and they can even write it into the fiction too, where like the world just got nuked, you know, and
it did just start all over.
Everybody goes back underground and then comes back out, you know, like 50 years later or whatever. So I'm not up on Fallout lore. I don't know how that fits into Fallout 3 and 4's whatever, but who knows?
I give it to next November that game will be polished. So,
but sorry, I keep going off on tangents because we're talking about different stuff. But
no,
man, what else have I been playing? There's something else I was playing a little bit recently. I kind of going back and forth on some Switch stuff. I just lately I've been working on so many things for us that I just haven't had a lot of time to play games, and every time I do, it's like, what can I jump into real quick and just feel accomplished? And those were the games that I kind of felt like I don't know. I wish I had more time to play more games, but it just hasn't happened recently. I've been working on like the new thumbnails for the new shows and the new podcast things, and I mean, if you're watching the video version of this, you can see like the new background, which I mean, this background didn't take that long, but like I've been doing it for every show and the thumbnails for the shows, and I'm trying to get everything organized for 2019 because we've got some new podcasts coming out, and
yes.
Ed and I have been working hard on an indie showcase and pod and play, and it just I haven't had enough time to just play games for myself. And last Thursday we were supposed to record some stuff, and I was just like, Ed, I'm exhausted. So,
and I was just like, go ahead and get your rest. And I think I was playing Forza or something, and I just seen your name come on. I'm like, oh, there you go, Corey. Oh, he probably gonna watch Hulu. Oh, he's playing Madden. And then that was just like, oh, that wasn't the night that the problems happened, because that happened the following day. I was just like, yeah. And everybody, I said some things that I thought I wouldn't say, but I was upset for Corey.
Ed was throwing around some choice words. It was a good time. It was really funny. It was pretty funny. So
yes,
that's all I've been playing. I've been playing with the idea of getting Darksiders 3. Because those are the types of dumb games that I like. But I know that Darksiders 3 is not like Darksiders 1 and 2 to an extent. Even though 1 and 2 are totally different games.
Yeah.
Darksiders 2 is more like a 3D Diablo game than the first game is more like a God of War, like old school God of War meets Zelda.
Yeah.
Which I kind of think that this game is kind of returning to. I know you've played it, and I feel like I've heard it's like a Souls Light mixed with Zelda. Why don't we just get into what you've been playing?
Okay.
That's kind of what I've been playing.
So, so we're talking about Darksiders 3. So I pick it up. I would say this: the loading is terrible. It is literally too long. It might be different on Xbox One X, but I'm playing this on this.
That's pretty par for a Darksiders though.
But dude, this thing is almost 25 seconds of loading, getting into the game after
like a Souls game.
Well, kind of, yeah. I mean, it's.
I know Matt and Moose don't listen to this show, so it's fine.
It's 25 seconds to get even into the copyright stuff and all of that, and then when you die, it's another 25 seconds. While moving, sometimes it will freeze the game and load, and it's just like, what is it loading for? I just passed this whole section. It would freeze the frame just randomly. And it's just like, oh my goodness, it's still just like an Xbox 360 game. I don't know what they were trying to do with this, but it's kind of a jumbled mess. And I understand that, it has some Dark Souls things about it, but it's only really Dark Souls in the fact that when you die, you just got to get back to the spot to collect the souls, because your souls is currency in this game, and now you have to split the currency into leveling up or splitting it to get items and stuff. So you really don't like it in Darksiders 1 is that you would invest into those weapons to get stronger. Well, in this one you do it for attack, strength, or attribute, which is like kind of your beast form in a sense. And it's just like the more souls you put into, you get 1 point, and every point you get, you could use like there. So there's no level up. There's no level up system where you're level 23, level 24, anything like that. You pretty much get your whip, and then you'll probably get some other weapons based on what power you get, and that's pretty much it. So having any kind of Zelda influence in it is not there, because you don't really go to any dungeons and solve any puzzles from what I've been playing. You really just attack and dodge when you can. And the counter attacks are kind of dodgy on it. They put some stuff on your LB trigger instead of doing and the only reason why they do that is because your left trigger is to lock on. Well, the problem with that is that enemies can hit you at any time, anywhere, and they're not staying in your eyesight. So, like when you play Darksiders 1, the enemies were always in your eyesight, even a little bit in 2. So it's just like, okay, I gotta hold left trigger, but if I want to dodge, I have to hit RB, which is the right bumper. But if you try to dodge and you roll into an enemy, they still could attack. There's no way for you to really counter attack. You kind of got to do what like Bayonetta does. Hit the ZR button, and she'll do a flip. But if you time it, wish time comes out and it slows down time. It doesn't do that, but it has that feeling to it. If you could time it right, you could go back and attack. And for some unknown reason, because you don't really have armor in this game, you can get hit 3 times and have a game over. Like they really take off a lot of damage. So it kind of feels like you could go through 6 rooms and now you're fighting one of the sins at any time. Like there's no kind of setup or anything, and it's just like, okay, I fought. I'm assuming that I fought 2 sins. Do I got 5 more to go, and that's the game?
Yeah, I mean, I heard it's a relatively short game.
Yeah, I was reading the review. They said it's like 12 hours.
I feel like this should have been like a $40 game.
It really feels like that. And
I don't want to take anything away from Gunfire Games and stuff, because like that team's been through a lot with the THQ closure and people like part of that team going to work and getting caught up in that like the Crytek mess where they weren't getting paid and yes, stuff like that, and then coming back to form Gunfire. But like I feel like this game could have used about 3 or 4 months of polish and come out maybe like somewhere in January or April next year where there's like no traffic, as opposed to like late November in between Smash and Call of Duty and Red Dead and Pokemon. Like, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of games going on right now, and I wonder.
And well, Corey, this is the weird thing. Like they make you do some stuff with their left LB and RB, but if you want to get into your superpower mode, you have to hit LB and right trigger. and sometimes you have to take your hand off the directional button to hit it, and it's just like, because sometimes it won't register, and I'm like, what the heck is going on? I'm like, all of this, I think all of this could have been solved if you was at while if you held left trigger and pressed the right trigger, you'll turn in, and then you could go crazy that you want. Or if your counter button was like on the B button, like the left bottom button, right bottom button, like the B button. I think that just a dedicated counter button would have worked better for it, because like the RBs to dash. And it's just like, okay, this dashing doesn't go far enough or anything.
Yeah.
So, and they could still hit you while you interrupting their attack and stuff. And it's just like, come on now. If you die, wherever you met Volgrim at, who is the merchant in this game, that's where you start at. So if you die in the boss battle, you got to go all the way back to where Volgrim is at, fight your way all through it, and then redo that whole fight from the beginning.
I don't like that.
and the enemy is full of energy. So the checkpoints is.
It sounds like a bonfire for Souls games. Like, it sounds like they wanted to make a Souls game.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Like, honestly, that's what this sounds like. So, even though I think they publish, I know they own Deep Silver, but doesn't Deep Silver publish like The Surge and Lords of the Fallen and stuff? So like, I don't know why. I don't know why they pushed that into this.
I think
whatever, but
it feels like they put this genre of game into Darksiders to make it feel longer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's just like, well, I'm like, I understand what you guys are getting, but you try to make her feel like what's her name from Soul Calibur with this whip, but why not just make this feel like Castlevania?
Mm-hmm.
Lord of Shadows. I think that's it. Like, why not just have it make it feel like that? Like, she needs to be faster, or she needs to have more than just this one attack.
Yeah, she looks like she should be moving fast, and like I feel like this game would have benefited being more like Devil May Cry and less like Dark Souls, because just like the way. Like, I was watching a trailer today for it because I really do want this game. Like, I like Darksiders a lot. And I just like how dumb the lore is and stuff, and how it kind of feels like if Gears of War met some sort of comic version of the apocalypse. Like, that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
Like, dumb and it tries to take itself serious in some ways, but it knows it's not that serious, you know? And like, I feel like you know, I really like the first game because it felt a lot like God of War's combat, right? And I really like the second game because they added some stuff to it, and the loot stuff really added a lot of depth to it. And I really wanted them to keep moving in that action direction, right? Like, I feel like the way she's supposed to move and the way she's supposed to like fight and stuff, it looks like she should be moving
arena-based fighter,
like DMC a little bit,
right? And what works for DMC is that it is like, even with the camera, DMC works good, and I think it's because they stuck with the camera from the first Darksiders instead of doing like almost like Bayonetta 2, where it's a little bit upwards where you can see everything, and it's moving quicker. It kind of doesn't work with a Souls game. With a Souls genre, with this kind of action, was supposed to be action RPG, because I'm just like, she's supposed to be like doing some crazy combos with this. I think it was like, if you had a light and a heart attack for her and make it feel like it's a brawler, this would work better for this game, and it doesn't.
Yeah.
So, I'm not trying to be down on Darksiders,
No,
but
it sounds like, because its Metacritic is sitting at like 72 right now,
right,
which is good, not great, but it's good, and that sounds like what we're kind of describing it as, so.
right, and it's just it depends on where you want to put. Definitely with the skill points, I kind of got, and it sucks because I have to put my skill really in strength because I gotta defend myself. I don't have no armor or anything to make me take less damage. And if I put it in all of my health, they could still hit me about 5 times and kill me. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I need my strength to be up so I could be able to take more energy off of them. And it's just like this doesn't feel balanced. And I am playing it on normal. I think for the energy that they take off, I would understand if I'm playing a little bit hard. But I'm just like, if y'all trying to give me a challenge, you're giving me not an unfair but an unbalanced challenge. It's like, even with my strength being up high, I should at least be knocking half of their health bar out. Nope, only knocking about 1/3 of it down.
Yeah.
And I'm like about 6 levels into my strength. So I have a high percent range of my strength. And it's like not even doing anything. So there's some balancing issues. But like I told you, I'm just like, wait for a sale for it, I say. When it goes $40 or $30, wait for that.
Yeah.
Yes. Been playing Forza Horizon 4, getting closer to being done with that game. There's just some more races that I gotta do, and it doesn't have an ending. It's pretty much like you do all the races, and once you're done with everything, you could drive around and try the races again, and that's it.
Well, like, they want this to be their games as a service type thing too, or like there'll be events and stuff with the seasons.
Yeah,
I want to get back to the game, but I feel like that this game is doing really well for Microsoft in that respect too, where the game kind of has an ending, but there's a lot you can do afterwards.
Yeah, it's pretty much in a high ranking for game of the year for Microsoft, and that's kind of worrisome. But when we get to our Arsenal Exchange, I think we're going to have a good discussion about that. Play BioShock and some other PS4 games. I think Devil May Cry. I'm just like you, Corey, with Madden. I'm almost done with Devil May Cry 4. I literally want to take it off my system. It is garbage.
Yeah,
and I'm doing my best to work through this game because I want to play the Devil May Cry 5. But I'm just like, for those who were upset about DMC and y'all accept Devil May Cry 4.
Yeah, did people forget about Devil May Cry 4? Because I remember playing that game and I was like, nah, this is okay. And then replaying the game backwards, I was like, this is not okay.
It plays like garbage. It looks like garbage. The color
it's from
palette
2007, so.
Well, yeah, but I was just like, from Devil May Cry to DMC, it's just like.
Oh, there's no question that DMC is better, right?
Well, of course. I was just like, how the heck did your in-house development got shunned by a second party?
Yeah.
I'm just like, there's something. DMC just stands out. It feels timeless with that art style, and Devil May Cry 4 is just so dated, and it's literally unfair. It's just like, if you miss a jump due to the fact that it still has terrible camera angles. If you miss a jump, and it becomes a arena fight of enemies, and if you keep falling into that arena, you got to keep fighting those same enemies all over, and they will lock you in. And I'm just like, so And then I played some Switch games, and you guys could check yesterday's episode of Nintendo Power Block about that, of what I played.
By the way, speaking of Switch stuff that I played after we ended recording, I was playing more Warframe. Warframe is a solid game, dude.
Yes,
and I know it's available on Xbox One also, but like, I unlocked that Twitch skin because I linked my my Switch profile to my Warframe account.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool, dude. It's like this glowing purple like armor set.
Nice.
It's pretty cool. You know what Warframe reminds me of, seriously, is like if somebody was like, Destiny's a cool game, what if we turned that into a Starship Troopers version of Destiny?
Yes.
Like, it feels like a super polished joke game. Like, and I don't mean that in like a derogatory way at all. You know, like, I just feel like somebody thought Destiny and Mass Effect were cool, and they wanted to make a game that played like both of those games.
But you want to know what? And check out Pop Block, because and check out the quick looks, everybody here on NGR. As much as we keep talking about we want Destiny to fit, playing Warframe on Switch fits. Mm-hmm. I didn't want to. Not saying I didn't want to play it on Xbox One or PS4, but it was just like using the Pro Controller on this game. It's just like, this feels comfortable. And now I can see Destiny, like the first whole Destiny, the whole collection coming to Switch, and they're working perfectly like that.
Yeah,
and if Activision and Bungie think they can't do it, Panic Button can.
I'm sure Panic Button doesn't have enough projects on their plate right now. I mean, they have the 3 Bethesda projects theoretically.
Yeah.
With Youngblood, Wolfenstein 3, and Doom Eternal. And then, you know, they have to support Warframe, like, you know, because like the PS4, Xbox One, and PC versions are on one version, but the Switch version is always a version behind because Panic Button is porting that version, like the patch over. So like, you know, it's like I give Panic Button credit, man. They've got to do all the Rocket League stuff that they've been doing, you know, and what was the other game that they ported over?
Wolfenstein 2, Doom, Rocket League.
Hold on, I'm looking it up real quick.
Well, everybody is giving so much mad props to Panic Button, like Switch owners, even developers. It's just like, you guys, you came out of nowhere, and they're technical geniuses, basically.
Yeah.
And they're proving to, and everybody's just like, y'all proving to third party that your game could run on the system if you just put some effort into it.
Oh yeah, I forgot Panic Button did the Wii U versions of Disney Infinity. I'm just looking at their thing right now, and it's they did. Let's see. We'll start with the Disney Infinity stuff. They did the Wii U and PS3 versions of Disney Infinity. They did the PlayStation Vita version of Injustice. Oh boy, I'm sorry.
Wow.
They did the ports of Rocket League. They helped with engineering on Recore.
Ooh.
They brought Rocket League to Switch in 2017. Doom to Switch. They co-developed To the Top, which is a PSVR title. And then their most recent games, Wolfenstein 2, Warframe, Subnautica. They're working on Subnautica to bring it to consoles, and they have a bunch of games in development, it says. So
yeah, because they say they got some of their projects of their own, and I think when they start bringing out their own games, if they continue to bring it to Nintendo, they're gonna make buku money.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm pretty sure like we know the Bethesda games are coming.
Yes,
switch through them. Like, why would you switch developers who made such great ports of those games? I mean, gosh, the Wolfenstein 2 port is amazing.
Yeah,
you watched the quick look.
Yes.
Oh, panic button.
Oh, dude, so good. And then it was just like it got even better when they put the patch out.
Yeah, and I told you what the clever move that I still don't know if it's true or not, but I fell down the Reddit rabbit hole and it felt pretty real to me. Like the way they made the cutscenes look so good. They're just compressed, like, because like on Xbox One and PS4 they're running an engine, right? So
yeah,
they look amazing. Well, they just recorded I'm sure this isn't exactly what they did, but in dumb people terms, they basically just recorded the 4K cutscenes separately and compressed them and put them on as compressed video files. So
yeah,
that's why the cutscenes look so good.
Good. Hey, if they was able to do it and they cut corners and it works, I'm not even mad at them.
Well,
not mad at them.
I mean, they get. I went to PAX this year, right? For people who are newer listeners or whatever.
Yes.
And I saw Wolfenstein 2 running on Switch there, and it looked pretty good, right? Like it looked solid, but you could tell they had some like. They had to cut corners on some texture work on some things, you know.
Yes,
really, like they had to, right? I mean, it's not a secret. But they went back in, and I started playing after the patch, and they fixed those issues. Like like the way like there's a section, and I'm sorry, we need to get into the news, but like there's a section early on in that game where you're making your way through. Where you get captured, right? You get captured and you get the suit for the first time, and you have to make your way through the ship, right? And you have to throw a grenade and blow up this ventilation shaft so you can get in there, right? Yeah. When I was at PAX, it just was like this glowing red, like shiny texture, right? At PAX, and I was like, okay, well, people aren't going to be sitting here staring at this texture, right? I started playing on the patch, and it actually looked like, you know, when you burn the edges of paper where it gets real crispy around the edges, and then like the red, like the burning part looks red, and it kind of has different colors and whatever. That's what they fixed it to look more like that, and I was like, man, they really, Panic Button did such a good job on that game.
Yeah, and I think that's why people are shocked that, you know, that their games are just turned out good on Switch. Like people are impressed, and they were just like, if you continue to bring us this good quality and we can enjoy it, then we're going to continue to support it. Because hey, Panic Button, all I can say is please talk to EA and Respawn and get Titanfall 2, because I literally think they could do it.
Yeah, well,
Titanfall 2 on Switch, I bet you would sell more than EA, than Xbox One and PS4 combined.
I doubt it. That game sold a lot, especially after it started going on sale.
Oh yeah, because it's like the standard edition. No,
dude, that's the standard edition. The standard edition has been below $10 100 times since that game's released. So.
And it's still not selling. That and Andromeda. I would like this. Oh, goodness.
Another game. Look, next year, in 2019, we're starting our big kind of backlog. Like we haven't really decided what we want to call it. You want to call it Extinction. I want to call it...
No, I call it NX.
Oh, well, yeah. Okay, so like...
The NX Challenge.
Yeah, the NX Challenge. So like the Nintendo and Xbox Challenge.
Yeah.
And like Mass Effect is on my list. And I really want to go back to that game to see if it's really as bad as people are talking about. So I mean, I played like a few hours of it, and I was like, this game, it feels like Mass Effect. And then I got to this one part where I could start seeing how people could possibly, but like I didn't finish it because we moved on to other things or whatever.
Yeah,
but
like I said, I enjoyed it. I didn't think it was bad. I think it's like a 7.5 or 8. But I didn't think it was too bad. I just think that it was just kind of bad on EA's part for making BioWare learn the Frostbite engine, and they weren't comfortable learning it, or they,
Well, I mean, we've had that discussion 100 times, but like basically
yes.
they were using Unreal, and then the last 18 months of development, like they made them switch over to Frostbite, and they had to port all the assets and stuff over to Frostbite, and then couldn't finish the game like the way they wanted to because they spent like over a year porting the game over to Frostbite instead of Unreal. So less a story, at least. So, and
it feels so bad because it feels like Sony just kind of dropped Mass Effect Andromeda, even though they used that for their Pro. You'd be like, oh, so y'all just distance yourself from this game? Okay.
Well, they did the same to No Man's Sky too. So.
Oh yeah, really true. But we're going to get into some Arsenal news, and then we're going to get into our exchange. So our first story: Rocksteady not announcing anything at the Game Awards, especially not Superman. And this, all our news is coming from Game Informer. So if you guys want to read it for yourself, you could go there and check it out.
By the way, can I say something before we move into the news stuff?
Yeah, go ahead.
I really hope that whatever is happening to GameStop, I really hope Game Informer is not affected. Because I like, as much as I hate GameStop, I love Game Informer, and I love like the Game Informer show and Replay and all the stuff they do, like their video content stuff.
Yes.
And it like really scares me that someday, like the inevitable day that GameStop closes, and I just hope Game Informer is not affected. Like, I hope they sell Game Informer, or that team, if something happens, they move on and like try to do something on their own,
Like, if my subscription is up and they want me to renew and it goes straightly to Game Informer, I would do that. I would still subscribe to Game Informer.
Well, you can subscribe through Amazon now.
Oh, nice. That's cool.
I mean, I think I'm going to do that because I don't really want to go back into a GameStop.
But I have to elite, so
GameStop is the reason I started going digital on other platforms.
Well, like I said, GameStop is for my used games, or if I do got to get something new, maybe a pre-order, and if Target is not acting up.
Which scares me because when the next Xbox comes out, I know I'm gonna have to go to a GameStop to pre-order it. So
I'm gonna walk to Target and be like, "You guys got it? Yeah, okay, I'll buy it."
Yeah. So I just, although I have been like, I know I've been going all digital on Xbox, but I've been itching because like I miss seeing all the games on my shelf, and I'm like, with Game Pass and stuff now, I can still have my digital stuff.
Yeah.
But also, I want my physical stuff back. It's a never-ending conundrum that I have with myself.
I love having my physical. I can't do digital. I could do digital if it's like on a really good sale, and I just too lazy to go get a physical copy. But I'm at the store putting my 60, 40, whatever sale price they're selling it at. But yeah. But we're going to get into it. It's been over 3 years since Arkham Knight released, supposedly finishing the Arkham series for good. Since then, all eyes have been on developer Rocksteady, eagerly hoping for an announcement or a hint for what the developer might have in store to succeed the critically acclaimed Arkham trilogy. For whatever reason, rumors have been stirring that Rocksteady is developing a Superman game, rumors which for some reason include Game Informer. While we don't know for sure sure what Rocksteady is working on. We know it won't be revealed at the Game Awards, and that is definitely not Superman. The news comes according to a tweet from Sefton Hill, director and co-founder of Rocksteady. He puts, "Looking forward to the hashtag the Game Awards this year. We're still hard at work in our development bunker, so don't expect the announcement from at Rocksteady Games. When it's ready to show, you'll be the first to know. Spoiler, it's not Superman." The Superman rumors were bolstered by a supposed retail listing stating a game by the title Superman World's Finest was set to be released next year. Fans immediately connected that listing with the long-running rumors about the game and have restarted their Man of Steel engines in anticipation of the announcement. Unfortunately for Superman fans, it doesn't seem to be a reality. Also unfortunate is that we still don't know what Rocksteady is working on, Superman or not. What do you think Rocksteady's next project is? The long-rumored Ninja Turtles game, another DC superhero, a completely original IP, and then if you guys want to let them know on Game Informer, you can actually let them know in the comments.
Don't tease me with that Ninja Turtles. Don't do it.
I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that they are making a new IP. Original IP. I don't think they're working on a license.
See, I think they're making a Justice League game set in the Arkham universe. Like, I think they're not working on a Superman game. I think they're working on a Justice League game, and Superman is a playable character. I can see that. That's my thought. You know, I think Justice League is, like, say what you will about those movies or whatnot, but I like Justice. They want. Warner Brothers wants their Avengers money, right? And I think,
yes,
you know, the movies aren't doing fantastically, but they do have a great line of games, and the TV shows are doing well, and you know, they just launched their new streaming service, and I think this is the way they get their Avengers money, is by making a great team-based game before the Avengers comes out. Because once the Avengers comes out, like, that's all anybody's going to talk about is like, oh man, Marvel's doing it again now in video games, and I think they want to beat them to the punch to that group game.
But Rocksteady versus Eidos Montreal. It's I know Square Enix, but it's not Eidos Montreal. It's a different team.
It's Crystal
Dynamics. Like. That's interesting that you mentioned that.
Yeah, I think Rocksteady's working on a Justice League game, and you know, Warner Brothers Montreal might be helping with them or doing something similar, but you know, I think.
Well, let me put it to you. Do you think Microsoft is already in contact with them to get that on their stage for the E3 next year?
Yeah. Especially with Sony pulling out, you better believe Microsoft's on the phone trying to get Rocksteady's next game. Just because, like, theoretically, the only first-party games Microsoft really has the next like, besides Crackdown, like next fall, I guess is what I'm trying to say, is Forza and Gears. You know, so which will
maybe Halo Infinite.
Well, no, I think Halo Infinite's. I mean, we'll get into this because we're gonna do a Xbox roadmap episode at some point. But like, we were gonna do it tonight, but Jesse couldn't join us, and I really want him in on that conversation. But I think Halo Infinite is gonna be Xbox's Breath of the Wild.
For 2020?
2020. They're going to launch it with the new Xbox with, like, maybe not special features, but, like, the processing power of the Scarlet box will be able to do more. But you can still play it on Xbox One, you know? That's what I think. But theoretically, next fall,
But you know what? That does make sense. Delay it until Scarlet comes out and treat it like a launch game.
Yeah,
like you said, Breath of the Wild.
I mean, they're in the same position that the Wii U was in theoretically, right? Where like
yes,
they're losing to their competitor. They don't have a lot coming out at the end of their life cycle. They need something that will sell their new box, but people who don't want to invest in the new thing can still play it on the old thing. You know, I mean, they're in the same position. And Halo, like it or not, Halo's still their biggest franchise by a long shot. And launch it. They haven't had a Halo game at launch since the original Xbox. You know, Xbox 360 didn't have a Halo game. Xbox One didn't have a Halo game at launch. Like,
yeah,
I think that's what they're gonna do. So, I mean, next fall they're gonna want everything on their stage. You know, they're gonna. I wouldn't be surprised if they're on the phone with Activision trying to steal Destiny away.
I think Microsoft is...
The PlayStation stage is where they always announce their next expansion. Where's Bungie going to do that now?
They're not going to do it for Microsoft.
They always show gameplay, they always show the new multiplayer mode, and they always show part of the new campaign on Sony's stage.
Sony would have to break that contract with Activision. I think
Activision wants out of that contract real bad because, I think they want out of that with Call of Duty too, also because I think they're trying. Look, we'll talk about this when we talk about Anthem, but Anthem said they're looking into crossplay. Right, it's not going to be there at launch, but they're looking into it, which is humongous. And yes. I think Activision...
That's going to be more... Yeah, that's going to be more...
Besides Fortnite and Minecraft, there's been no other game bigger than Destiny on the forefront of cross-play and cross-progression.
Yes.
Destiny has been in the forefront of that conversation since it launched. You know?
Yes.
So, I mean... I think if Activision can get crossplay, especially if they're adding battle royale modes to Call of Duty now, like every Call of Duty moving forward is going to have their own battle royale mode. The more players you can have in that sandbox, the better your game is going to do.
But I wonder, what should Sony break their contract or should Activision break
Activision wants to break the contract. You know, I'm sure, dude. Activision's all about making money, and if they have the spreadsheet in front of them that says, if whatever it costs to break this contract, if we can sell this many more copies because people can play with their friends on other platforms, let me tell you what, that's the only reason why I'm not playing Destiny right now is because like I only have one or two friends on each platform that are playing, and if like. I can play with my cousin who's playing on PlayStation, and I can play with you and Jesse who are playing on Xbox at the same time. Like we could almost have like a raid group going,
right? I think, but
plus, like I know Jason is playing, and I know Moose wants to get back into it, but nobody wants to play 2-player Destiny. People want a full fire team. People want a full raid group. People want a full clan. And if Activision can get a piece of that pie. And like convince, and Bungie wants to do it. So like if they can get crossplay in terms of Destiny, and if they can get a fuller matchmaking thing for their next battle royale mode in Call of Duty, they're going to sell more copies because people can play with their friends on other platforms.
But see, that's why I kind of wondered that. Activision wants to get away from it, but I'm just like Bungie and Microsoft getting back together. I'm like,
there's been weirder things.
I just wonder. I'm like, when Bungie went with Activision, was there any bad blood? And I think it's because that was before Phil Spencer got
they left Microsoft because they didn't want to work on Halo anymore. And the people who wanted to work on Halo went, like, Bungie basically split into two teams, and the team that wanted to make more Halo games became
343 Studio. Okay.
So it's not like there's any bad blood. They just left because they didn't want to make Halo anymore.
Okay. All right. Good. And I think that was my kind of question, because I kind of didn't know the history of why Bungie would leave Microsoft, and definitely with Phil Spencer being the role that he is in now, I think he's open to having Bungie kind of come back to Microsoft, and do some games, like second party or third party and stuff.
Yeah, I mean they just left because they wanted creative freedom, and so now that they have that, the only thing I could see if I know Bungie and Activision will not be on the Microsoft stage. They'll just hold their own. Destiny is big enough to where they could go to Guardian Con, or they could have a live Twitch stream and say, "Here's our next expansion. Here's what we're doing." Right? They're big enough to where they can do that, and the Destiny fans will be fine. Right?
Yes.
My thing is E3 is still a big show, and I think they want to be there in some way. Now, the only other thing is what if Microsoft is trying to turn Halo Infinite into their games as a service style game? Because it's called Halo Infinite.
Hold that thought. Wait till we get to Exchange, because that's why I said it's gonna be a good discussion when it comes to Exchange. Corey doesn't know what we're going to be talking about, but I'm hinting at some things. But we're going to table that discussion, because there's a lot that I'm agreeing with you, and a lot that I'm learning between Microsoft and Bungie. And we will see, because, and I might talk to Jason, Jeff, and Moose about this, because I kind of want to get their perspective definitely from a PlayStation brand. If no contract gets broken with Activision and Sony, what does that say for PlayStation 5? Because if they don't incorporate crossplay and cross progression, I feel like Activision would. I agree with you. I feel like Activision would need to break their contract and just make crossplay and cross progression between PC and Microsoft. And probably actually do something even with Windows 10, do something exclusive.
Yeah, I mean the big thing right now, and I know we're way off the topic, but I think the biggest thing with Destiny right now is the cross progression stuff, because so many people have bought in the game on both consoles already, and it's just like the cross progression would make it so much better. I don't even care if it's cross-play, just the cross progression.
I think it would guarantee multiple sales for that game. I
think if there was cross progression, people who own both consoles, they would probably sell. I would say they would sell 15% more copies of the game just with cross progression alone.
Yes,
because when Blizzard gave away Destiny because on BattleNet, right? Well, I guess Bungie, but on BattleNet, they gave away the base game for free. So I own all 3 versions of Destiny now, and if I could have just cross progression between all 3 games,
it would make for a lot of people, it would make playing that game easier, because it's just you're still, regardless of what system you own, you're still teaming up with friends, and there's still some people who just only want to play on PlayStation and only want to play on PC or Xbox. You guys are still working together to get stronger, to do your raids and stuff like that, strikes and everything. So but
also, before we move on, so the Arkham Collection, right? They just released the Arkham Collection with all 3 games in it. Batman Arkham Knight Gold Edition is $29.99 with all the DLC, right?
Yes.
The old Arkham Collection, which is Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, is $19.99. So both of those together is $50. They're selling the whole collection with Arkham Knight in the Arkham Collection now for $60.
Wow.
I'm like, Anyways,
but I already own the Arkham Collection, which is weird. I own the Arkham Collection on Xbox, but Arkham Knight on PS4. Everybody, go watch Pod and Play Season 2. You'll understand. You will understand. But we're going to move on. Kingdoms of Amalur, Reckoning, Sonic Unleashed, and Alien vs. Predator now backwards compatible. Major Nelson announced the addition of 3 new titles to the Xbox One backwards compatibility roster. Fans of Kingdom of Amalur Reckoning can now resume their hack and slash role playing on the Xbox One. Fans of the Blue Hedgehog will also be happy to hear Sonic Unleashed is now backward compatible, and players can continue their fight against the Xenomorphs with the non-backward compatible Alien vs. Predator. And Larry Herb here, I think Major Nelson announced those games. There are over 500 Xbox 360 titles now available for play on the Xbox One. So if you still haven't made the jump to the current gen system, there's never been a better time. If you own the Xbox One X, some select Xbox 360 titles can even be played with enhanced graphics, such as Assassin's Creed, Gears of War 2, and Halo 3. Backwards compatible titles will instantly be available for download if you're still using the same online profile from your Xbox 360 account. If you use cloud save games, you can pick up where you left off on either console. Players can also download backwards compatible titles by inserting the corresponding game disc or purchasing the title from the Xbox Live Marketplace. A few weeks ago at XO 18, it was announced that Final Fantasy 13 will be joining the backwards compatible roster. Players can vote on which Xbox 360 games they'd like to see join the ranks by going to the Xbox feedback website. While not every game Xbox 360 game is currently backwards compatible, more titles are being added on a routine basis. So I have Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning on PlayStation 3, and it would just stay on there. Sonic Unleashed is a hot wreck. Alien vs. Predator, they say that wasn't a bad game. So
I you know what? I'm gonna let Alien vs. Predator just kind of
stay where it needs to be at.
Yep, it's just gonna stay. But Kingdoms of Amalur, man, if you guys haven't played that game and you want a cool action RPG,
play Dragon's Dogma.
I really like Kingdoms of Amalur. I think it's good. I think it's a great game.
It's a decent game.
Go away. You're fired. Just kidding. Just kidding. I mean, I think if you want something if you are looking for a Fable game that isn't Fable, this is a game you should probably be looking at.
Okay, that I agree.
So, that's what I got out of playing it. But, yeah, I think that's definitely the highlight on the list. So,
yeah, and actually, some people were happy that it came back. They were just like, "Yes, I could play this on my current system." So that's kind of cool.
Yeah. So.
Yep. We're going to get into the next two stories, and I kind of merged them into one. The Game Awards will be showing Anthem's new trailer there. The Game Awards airs Thursday, December 6th, and it looks like the show is going all out to fulfill the promise of being gaming's biggest gala. We already know that 10 new games will be unveiled on the award ceremony stage, one of which the host of the Game Awards, Jeff Keighley, teased recently. In a Twitter post, Jeff announced a mysterious RPG title coming from Obsidian and Private Division. To follow this up, the Game Awards have promised to debut a trailer during the ceremony for the upcoming sci-fi online multiplayer Anthem, which featured on Game Informer's cover back in July. Anthem has recently been in the news for possibly hinting the game might support cross-platform play sometime after launch. While Anthem won't release until February 2019, you can try to fill the time by checking out Game Informer's hub. You can catch the Game Awards December 6th at 5:30 p.m. PST, which will be streamed for free on Twitch.
Yeah, I think we're going to try to do a watch along for that.
Yes.
I think we're going to do it on Nerds Gone Rogue's main page, though. So you can go to ngrradio.com/live, and it'll be the first video feed up there, or you can go to twitch.tv/ngrradio, or you can watch it later on YouTube. So but yeah, I think you said you're off Thursday, right?
Yes, I'm off.
I think all three of us. I think all three of us are gonna watch it. I'm wondering if Jason and if anybody else wants to watch it with us. I'm gonna reach out to everybody, but it's us three for sure. Maybe everybody, maybe some other people. I know Matt will probably have to work, and I know he doesn't really care about the Game Awards. Judging by every year when Kojima gets brought up, he just goes on a tirade for like 20 minutes. It's so funny.
Oh shoot! That one dude is coming back that made that jail gang.
Yeah, I know. Joseph Ferris.
Oh goodness! I might have to bring some alcohol to this and just drink it.
Man, Ed's going all nuts this week.
No, not really, but it's just I'm gonna need a drink after this. But of course I mentioned Anthem having crossplay. Anthem executive producer says no crossplay platform at launch. Anthem is a game that BioWare has been very clear will change and grow after its official release. In interviews, the developer has taken a never say never approach to potential gameplay features. So make sure you can keep that in mind while reading this tweet from producer Mark Darver responding to a fan query on Twitter. So it was asked that will PS4, Xbox, and PC players be able to play with each other, and he responded, not at launch. The definite news you can take from Darver's response is clear. Anthem will not have cross-platform play at launch. Xbox players will not be playing with PC players on February 22nd. But it also implies that crossplay could be in the game's future and optimistically could potentially leap the PS4 hurdle. We have our fingers crossed, but also aren't holding our breath. All I can say about this, please don't attach EA Origins to this to do crossplay.
Yeah, I mean, like we said earlier, like Destiny's been at the forefront of this for a long time, and if if EA and Anthem, let me put it this way: if EA can figure out a way to do crossplay with Anthem, especially because it's all PvE, so you can also include PC players in this. If they can find a way to do that with Anthem, everything that's been happening with them the last 2 years with Battlefield, Battlefront, Mass Effect, microtransactions, loot boxes, like all of this stuff will be erased if they can pull off cross-platform play.
Yes.
Everybody will love them. I'm sorry, but everybody will love EA if they can do this. If Anthem is good, doesn't have to be great. If Anthem is just good, no microtransactions, already confirmed. Story-based DLC will be free. Yes. Now, granted, I'm sure there's going to be big expansions and stuff that you have to pay for, but for now, story expansions will be free. No microtransactions, and if Anthem's good, and if they can pull off cross-platform play, it's over. Like Destiny and the Division, like, I mean, granted, those games will still have their audiences or whatever, but Anthem will be the new top dog in games as a service.
I would just say this, and I agree with you. As long as they don't have the Destiny problem of what to do at like the end game stuff, what to.
That's what I'm saying. Is like if it's good and it has enough content to keep people, and there's cross progression and crossplay. Man, Anthem is way more appetizing than Destiny will ever be.
Yes, we shall see. We literally shall see. I'm excited for Anthem. Yeah, of course, me, Corey, and Jesse. Definitely for us. Hopefully, it's a day one purchase for us.
Oh, I've already pre-ordered it. Like the digital version is like there's like the whatever you get, whatever with it. Like I pre-ordered that a couple months ago.
And I wonder if it. Hopefully I don't know if it's going to be a Friday release.
Let's see. February 22nd is what the day that's coming out, right? I think it is a Friday release.
If it's a Friday release, I might actually ask.
It's a Friday release.
I'm going to see if I can actually get that day off and switch.
You know what we should do, and get Jesse in on this too. Is we should all kind of try to get the day off or whatever. And I know Jesse with family stuff and everything.
Yeah.
But we should try to stream it. A launch day stream. Like a launch day stream. And if we can't get the day off, that night, we should try to stream it.
Yes.
So.
A special squad goals, I could say.
Yeah.
Because
you better believe squad goals is going to be a whole bunch of Anthem and a whole bunch of Division 2 when it comes February and March.
I think this is going to be my problem with it, is that I feel like I'm going to be ahead of you guys, because I think I'm probably going to be, even though I'm probably going to be playing Anthem in the Division a lot by myself. I
would like to play both of those games a lot.
Yes.
It's just it's so hard to balance those games with the stuff that you other stuff,
Yes.
But we'll figure it out. We're smart people.
All I can say is, once again, go watch Nintendo Power Block. Me and Corey literally had a pre-discussion roadmap. I would say that because of something if something big happens. And you probably, if you haven't watched Nintendo Power Block from yesterday, go watch it. And something big has happened at the Game Awards. February is going to be a mess for us. I'm already going to say this, even though I'm filing taxes.
I forgot. I was like, "What are you talking about?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I forgot." Ooh.
Just saying, because certain games, if they come out in February, I'm just be like, that day, yes. So, but we're gonna get into the last topic.
February is already full for us with because we're gonna have to try to finish at least the single player of Crackdown before Anthem comes out the week after.
Oh shoot! I'm gonna still try to finish Resident Evil 2 and Kingdom Hearts.
Dude, Kingdom Hearts, can't wait for that.
Shoot, Demian X Machina, you do not drop in February or January. You stick to spring or March or May.
You bet. No, that game better be coming out in July.
Thank you. God bless.
That better be where Octopath and Captain Toad came out this year.
Yes. That game needs to muster itself. But we're gonna get into the last topic. Next Battlefield 5 patch will adjust how fast you die. Battlefield 5 is setting up its first major update next week with the Tides of War event, pretty much this week that you guys are watching this episode. But DICE is also using the time to do some fine-tuning to the game's multiplayer portions based on feedback. It turns out one of the major pieces of feedback DICE has been getting is that people are dying too quickly, and that isn't fun. In a post on Reddit, DICE surprisingly candidly discusses the difficulty in balancing issues with how frustrated players are with the speed of death, and also keeping players happy who like how fast it is to kill an opponent. Basically, DICE is weighing complaints about time to death, TTD, with positive feedback about time to kill, TTK, and trying to strike a balance between the two. The first experiment we want to run is a TTK change that we will be closely measuring soon, the post reads. This TTK experiment may take the following shape, but may change as we're still investigating how to approach. It may be proposed to players in-game by rolling out the new TTK changes globally to all players connecting to any server, while adding a new playlist accessible through the server browser where players can play the old, or as it is current, TTK to compare the two experiences. While DICE has not done a fully inclusive patch note listing yet, the Reddit post indicates a number of changes they're making for the multiplayer. And you guys can check out the review on Game Informer on what they give it. I could just say this doesn't matter to me. I prefer them to fix the whole game.
Maybe they should finish the game. Sorry. I know that's a common complaint, is that the game isn't finished, and I know part of that is it's not on DICE, it's on EA for pushing it out. But
yes,
boy,
I don't know how you have multiple delays, and this is what they deliver.
I mean, the time to kill and the time to die thing that's always going to be an issue that is never going to be solved in any game, right? Call of Duty has that. Destiny had that for a long time. That was a big issue in Destiny 2 vanilla for a long time.
Yes,
was the time to kill, and like you never really felt like if you like in I hate to keep using Destiny, but in Crucible, like it's the multiplayer game I play the most, so everybody needs to calm down. Everybody calm down. Talking about Destiny. Like when you went into a Crucible match, and if there was like 2 people on their team, and you were the only one, you just had to run, because you never felt like you could at least try to battle it out, right? It was all about team shooting. It was all about staying together and doing group shooting, right? Whereas in Destiny 1, if you were by yourself and there's 2 people, you could battle it out and win sometimes, right? That's the whole point of like the time to kill thing. Whereas in like in Destiny had the opposite problem though, where it was too slow. The time to kill was too slow. Whereas in Battlefield, it seems like it's too fast. Is
yes.
What it sounds like you were saying. So, I mean, the balancing stuff has always been an issue in shooters. It's always going to be. It's just people being mad about it is like, it's, I don't know. Some of it just kind of feels like it's an EA game, so people are going to be mad about it regardless. But
pretty much
at the same time, it's like I really wish EA would have just let them finish the game.
Pretty much, and I think, to me, I feel like forcing that the single player stuff, I don't think the 3 campaign thing is working anymore. I think just give me a full 10, 12 levels straight with one player, tell a story, fictional story.
I think they're going to go the other way. I think they're going to eliminate the campaign altogether.
Oh, that's a bad decision. Because of the success of Call of Duty.
Yeah, dude, Call of Duty without a campaign sold more copies in the last 2 versions combined, so I'm not even... and I think it's because of how good Blackout is.
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's a huge part of it also.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, I think they're gonna look at that and be like, oh man, look how well Call of Duty did without a campaign. What if we just focused on these couple modes and made people happy with these modes?
Well, let's see how they Battle Royale goes for next year.
Blackout mode though is really good.
Yes.
So,
and that's a shame that's the only best part of Call of Duty 4.
So I mean, it's great, you know. And I guess zombies is pretty good. I don't care about zombies, but
I mean, and I'm not trying to knock Call of Duty 4 or anything, but I'm just like, everybody keeps talking about Blackout, and I think that has kind of split the Battle Royale, where it's just like we're not saying real players, but people who want a casual experience for Battle Royale will play Fortnite. Some of the adult gamers and people who want to be a little bit technical and strategic will be playing Blackout. Because like I said, it feels good. Just playing the beta, it feels really good. It's not worth $60 to me, but it feels real good.
And I think a lot of people, like, I don't know because I haven't played, but I think maybe a lot of people are overlooking the issues of the other multiplayer modes in Call of Duty.
Yes,
because Blackout is so good.
So good, yes.
Although I did hear like the regular multiplayer is pretty good too. I don't know about zombies, but anyways, sorry.
Yes. We're gonna jump into our Arsenal exchange. The big thing. And so like Corey said, we were going to talk about a roadmap for Microsoft for 2019 and beyond. But we're going to put that one on hold. So I kind of want to present this to you, Corey. We talked a little bit about Halo Infinite, and I kind of want to bring in Gears of War 5 in there, or Gears 5. And it feels like, these two games are going to a open world format in a sense, and I feel like that's going to work very well for Microsoft because I really think Microsoft is going to take over for 2019. And so our Arsenal exchanges is going to be, is Halo Infinite and Gears 5 going in an open world format? Is that going to really be successful for those games and for Microsoft? And do you personally think that it was needed for them to go in this direction?
Well, first of all, for Gears, I think Jesse and I have recently been playing Gears of War 4 for squad goals, and as great as Gears 4 is, it feels like a Gears of War game, which is good, but it's also this is the 5th time they've done this formula, right?
Yes.
And it's like, I love Gears just as much as the next person, but like something's gotta change, right? And now the big rumor is that it's going to be more, not like totally open world, but more of like a Tomb Raider-esque, where there's open hubs and you kind of explore open hubs and stuff, and it's going to feel more that way. It's going to feel more like Tomb Raider with a cover-based system than Gears of War, which is the rumor right now. And I think that's going to do wonders for this franchise. You know, they're taking a story-oriented approach. Not that like Gears hasn't really been story-oriented, but it's really been more about the mechanics than the actual story, right? I mean, there's some touching moments and some cringy moments, but like overall, I think they've been trying to tell a story on top of this over-the-top kind of roided-out dudes or whatever. But like focusing on Kate and that story, and spoilers for the end of no spoilers, but at the end of Gears 4, there's a big plot point that changes everything, pretty much.
Yes.
And them kind of focusing on Kate and that aspect of the story, I think really allows the game to open up and have them change some mechanics and stuff. Now, granted, I'm sure it's still going to feel a lot like Gears, but if you just add a little bit of basic third-person action in there like Tomb Raider does, and really commit to that, and having these open hubs to explore instead of just like move to an arena, shoot guys, move to the next arena, shoot guys, you know? Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead. No, because I think with an open world kind of like format for Gears, and could pretty much throw a little bit Zelda in here, or a little bit Metroid if you want to go that route. Like, I feel like if you go and explore and you could find like technology or some piece to enhance your gun, or actually a new gun, and I think the coalition kind of needs to study. I still feel like they need to study the Resistance 3 on a sense on how alien guns and just like weird new guns would actually work so well with this game, and that you getting different pieces and being able to change it up and stuff could bring multiple ideas of you being able to kill the enemies in the game. I don't know, it's just like something somewhat RPGs, but more just like exploring to get something. Like, it's not part of your main mission, but you know, maybe you look into this factory and you find something just like this is gonna be a stupid kind of thing, but you fight your way through it and you actually find something that's like really helpful, if not for you, maybe for one of your friends or something. And you just build upon that world. It's just like, I just feel like there's so much hidden in the Gears franchise that doing something open like this will just make the game better. You can still have the Gears of War experience in this mechanics and gameplay, but making it feel open and not very level based in a way would just make it feel better for some reason.
Yeah, and you know, I think the open world format's going to benefit Halo a lot more than it does Gears.
Yeah.
I've in my heart of hearts, I really think that Halo is going to go the Destiny route and be kind of like, you're going to have a few planets that you can go to and explore, and you're going to land on these little hub areas where you can explore like an open hub style place, and you're going to be able to upgrade your Spartan abilities and your armor and your weapons and stuff. Like I truly think that that's the direction that Halo's moving in, and I think we said this on some sort of episode or an expansion pass or something like a year ago before Halo Infinite was even announced. Like, Halo 6 needs to move in a direction similar to, maybe not similar to Destiny, but more closer to like Call of Duty, especially in the multiplayer arena, where like you can have your base set of guns, but you can unlock perks, you can unlock armor abilities, you can unlock attachments to your weapons, you can unlock, upgrades for your Spartan, right? Like,
yes,
those are things that I think needs to happen, because like I actually played some Halo 5 tonight. I forgot to tell you that was the other game I would play a little bit. I played
the multiplayer.
Yeah, I played a couple of matches of Team Slayer, and mechanically that game is amazing. It's sound, like, and that's the thing with Gears too, is like the mechanics are sound, they're solid, but for today's gaming, like, they're too simple. They're almost too simple.
And I feel like Halo 5's multiplayer is could be like the standard base on how to design Halo Infinite, but just expand it and make it open. Because it would be cool. It would be cool that you get Halo Infinite, and if you and that squad want to be enemies and stuff, you guys have a story to be enemies. If you guys want to be Master Chief or a fellow soldier of that crew, you can do that. And I think that would literally be so. I just think that would kind of the Pokemon kind of thing. But I think that would be cool, and you could still, play with people who are on Windows 10, or if they're playing on Xbox One, like, and just Halo 5's multiplayer is really good. It's I feel like it's the best that the series have ever seen, and if they could just expand that for Halo Infinite, yeah.
Well, like, I would really like the Spartans to feel almost like, how like the pilots in Titanfall.
Yes,
I want them to feel like there's something about, like, even though a Halo 5 feels great, they still, like, the Spartans still feel kind of slow and clunky, and they're supposed to be super soldiers, super athletic, super, like, I want them to feel like the pilots in Titanfall, right? And
yes,
and maybe that's just saying something where, like, maybe I should be playing Titanfall instead of Halo. But to my point though, if Microsoft wants Halo to succeed in the multiplayer space, I get people want it to feel like Halo, but that group of people is falling off quicker than they can keep up with it. They need to make some major changes and just be like, they can even write it into the lore. They can just be like, hey, we're training a new set of Spartans, the Spartan 5s, and you can go out and do missions in the world. You can go do single-player missions and find upgrades for your Spartan, or you can go play multiplayer and upgrade your Spartans that way, but these Spartan 5s are going to feel different, they're going to play different, they're going to have cool weapons that they can utilize, and, like, these are the new things that, like, because the big thing with Halo, right, is like they said they don't really balance the weapons for lore reasons, because that does not make a fun video game. But the characters and, like, because that's the reason why the assault rifle doesn't appear in Halo 2, is because they thought the battle rifle felt better, right, to play as, and now we have them both, right? And that's why the DMR isn't in Halo 1, 2, or 3, but it's in Halo Reach, right? Where it's just like, oh, well, this gun feels cool, and we want to introduce new weapons. So they really don't write weapons into their lore the way that Destiny does, but, like, they can do cool things with the weapons by offering upgrades and attachments and stuff.
I think that the problem with that though is that they gotta supply ammo for it. There needs to be more ammo drops, because the thing with Halo,
fine, then they can do that.
And the thing, because the thing about it, and it's good that you mentioned like the weapon lore stuff. It's just like, it would be cool, but you can't really be able to stick with any of the guns in the Halo, because once you run out of ammo, you gotta pretty much go get a weaker weapon. They keep making you rotate weapons
which was the big issue I think we all had with Halo 5, was like, we found weapons that we like to use, but it forces you to use different weapons because there's not enough ammo drops for the ones that you're using.
Yes,
right.
And if they could fix the ammo situation with Halo Infinite, like you said, doing missions with multiplayer, doing missions with story, with your crew and stuff, like co-op play, and maybe you could not find an infinite clip, but be able to, have a rate that they drop more ammo when you hit enemies and stuff, like a status bonus or something that affects your gun. That would help that game so much more.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I still think that Halo Infinite is going to be more. Remember that this is the thing I think it's going to be more like. Remember that co-op kind of thing that they tried for Halo 4, where every week or every couple weeks they would add a new set of missions for like a co-op campaign?
Yes.
I think it was called Special Ops or something. And you had the main campaign, right, which you're clearly going to get in this game. But that's where like the games as a service thing is going to come in, where to keep bringing people back, they're going to drop these kind of mini expansions once a month or every week to have people come back as their quote-unquote multiplayer Spartan, where they can get upgrades, get cool new weapons, try out new armor abilities or whatever. And that's where like the Destiny style upgrade system is going to come in. Before
you go say anything more, I 600% agree with you.
Yeah, I mean it's
that literally fits Halo Infinite.
Yeah, but it's not going to be nearly as complicated as Destiny. I don't want people to think I want Halo to be like Destiny, because just the way Halo has been, it can never be what Destiny is, right? But you can still have that, okay, I create this Spartan for I can play Chief's story mode, right? But I also have the Spartan that I can progress. I can find new armor pieces. I can find new attachments for weapons and armor. Like, maybe I find a new visor for my helmet that, maybe can see enemies through walls, or, you know what I mean? Like, keeps my radar up while I'm aiming down sights, that kind of thing, right?
Yes.
And I think it's almost the same thing when we were talking about the Metroid multiplayer stuff a couple weeks ago, when Todd asked us a question on Power Block.
Yeah.
Where like you can still play as Samus in a Metroid Prime game, but then you also have your own bounty hunter that you use for multiplayer stuff, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I think that mold fits Halo even better, right? Because Spartans, you're always like, you can even write it into the lore where like you are a new class of Spartans and you go out to do these missions for training purposes.
Yes.
Right? And that becomes a story unto itself. So
I think actually having a bounty hunter class in Halo Infinite, I think that could be some of the side missions that they post, like maybe monthly and stuff. And like you could watch video of it and inside Xbox, and then that weekend, bam, it's available for everybody to play. So you could hunt that person, but you also could hunt that person and their crew and stuff. And yeah, it's like a special mission, but it's just like if you capture them, whatever secret weapon or whatever tech that they would just like they had in their area, you get to apply it to you have the option to apply it to yourself or to your base. You know, because I think, yeah, I agree with you. There's so much I think that's gonna work for Halo Infinite, and just like you said, have been as a game as a service. I think this is going to really change Halo in a great way, and that even with Gears, even if they follow, if Gears do the same thing but switch it up and do something different, it would make, to me personally, it would feel like these two titles have evolved for the better.
Yeah, and I think where you're really going to see the evolution of Gears is with Gears 6, right? Because I think they want to close out this trilogy in a nice kind of solid package before they move on, right? But like, I think, you know, you're going to see a little bit of evolution for Gears 5, but I think the real evolution for Gears is going to come in Gears 6 when you close out the story. But Halo, like, this is the time to evolve Halo, which is why I think they're going to launch the new box with it, because they're going to want people playing Halo Infinite the whole generation, right? And how do you do that? You say, hey, for $60 you get Halo Infinite and a whole year of content drops for free, right? These special ops missions once a month, twice a month, whatever. Every 3 weeks you get a pack or whatever. What you
I was about to say that get all of that stuff for year one and be like Nintendo and charge $20 for year two.
Yeah, or
like for like the whole season.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, not to the crazy extent that Destiny does, but like when a year 2 content pack comes out, make it an event. Make it like,
yes,
like, hey, guess what? You get 6 new levels of a Master Chief campaign, and then you get a whole year. Like, you get new multiplayer maps, new game modes, plus a year 2 of the Spec Ops kind of seasonal content.
And not only does that work for Microsoft, that goes well with Game Pass. You already paying $10 a month, so
that's what I'm saying.
Extra 20, like for that year, that 1 year free content, like patches and bugs and all of that other crap. But all that free content, and then another $20 for a second year. And if you want to charge another 20 for year 3, you could I think you could probably charge, I would say up to 4 years, like $80 for 4 years. If your own game,
I mean, because you'll get the base game in year 1 for free.
Yeah,
and then like how they'll make money off of Game Pass then is like, oh, there's a new cosmetic skin for your Spartan. Do you want this skin or this color or this armor set or whatever? You know, like a cosmetic thing, or you know what they're similar to what they're doing now with Warzone of like, hey, you can buy card packs or whatever. You know, that's how they'll make their money year 1. But then in year 2. You say, hey, new expansion, $20. But if you subscribe to Game Pass, you get year 1 for free.
Yeah. Or that shoot, good business. Like very good. Like I
should be running Microsoft.
I would even for those who are buying it digitally or physically, I would say, hey, if you're buying this digitally, you not only get year 1, you get the Play Anywhere benefit, but you get second year half off. Or if you're getting this game, you're getting the Xbox One Halo Infinite collection. Like you're getting an OX or a Scarlet. You get 1 year of Xbox Live. Not only do you get that 1 year content for free, but you still get that half price or a little bit more off because you're buying the special edition. And maybe it'd be like maybe $550 some dollars or something like that.
Or what they could do, you know how like Ubisoft and other companies charge, like you can get like the gold edition.
Yes.
For like 120, like what if Halo Infinite has a Gold Edition for $120, but that means you get 2 seasons for free, right?
It didn't charge for year 3 and year 4.
No. Well, like you get, like if you pay all that money up front,
yes,
you get the last 2 seasons for free.
Oh, you're talking about
because you're paying more up front instead of year to year. Like instead of $20 a year, it would look like you're saving like $30 by paying more up front, right? So like they could do something that way too, and you're like, hey, you get 5 years of Halo content for like $120 instead of like $160.
Because of now. Are you paying for year 1 if you just buy the original? If you're just buying the game, if you're not on like Game Pass,
you get
anything.
You can buy the $60 version, and you get all of year 1 for free.
Okay,
and then it'll be $20 a year, season, whatever they want to call it, right? $20.
Do you want to make it like 5 years? Because I feel like that would be good enough by time like Halo. What I said 4 years, because I don't know if Halo 7. I mean Halo 7. 7 would be ready after like 4 years.
Yeah, 4 years, because they're gonna want to utilize that engine for more than one game, right? So
yes,
so it could be like 3 or 4 years worth of content, right?
You know what? Let's go with 5 years, because in case if there's a delay and they get pushed, that 5th year could help them spread the time. You know, they'd be like, sorry everybody, we have to delay Halo 7, but because of this delay we have something prepared for you. Here's year 5 for Halo Infinite.
Yeah,
and close out because you get 5 years with that.
And like it'd be like $20 a year, or if you buy the
121, the Golden Edition.
Yeah, you get like a season or 2 for free by paying all this money up front instead of year to year. I think that's a cool idea. Or what you can do is you can buy the $60 version and try it out.
Yeah.
And then there's like the season pass, which is like you can buy the whatever pass for $50, but you're still saving money. Not as much as you know what I mean? There's like the different pricing tiers that companies use.
Yes.
Already. So it's almost similar to what Hitman Season 1 did, right? Where like, you know, you can buy the whole thing for $60, or you can buy it piecemeal for $15. You're going to spend a little bit more if you don't buy it up front, but at least you have that option of you know what I mean? Like there's so because depending on when Halo Infinite and even Gears, this could even fit for Gears too, but more Halo Infinite. If Halo Infinite can come out where it's year 1 is 3-part content. Like every 4 months, it's 3 years. So when like January rolls around, that's year 2, and so now every 3 months you at least get 4 parts of that content, and then exclusive like double experience, gun skins, stuff like that. If you buy it there, with their $20, you get all of this content for free. Yep.
But if you already got the $120 Gold Edition, you don't have to worry about it. Bam! Not only we recognize you got the gold stuff, we're gonna drop that year 2 content for you and give you bonus with that year 2 content because you got the Gold Edition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and that literally would. That kind of benefits everybody. People who got Game Pass, people who got Windows 10, people who are buying a new system, whether it's Xbox One or Scarlet. You know, if you're already on the system and you feel like it's within your budget.
And just think, like, the way that, you know, Xbox is seemingly going to work from now on. Like,
yes,
you could buy the Xbox One version of the game and still get the Gold Edition, because theoretically backwards compatibility and the way that, you know, the way that Xbox games are going to work from now on is like they're going to work on your old stuff, but it'll look better and run better on your new stuff. So like all your progress is going to carry over. You don't have to repurchase the game. It'll just be there waiting for you when you buy a Scarlet.
Right, and it's just be like, oh, we recognize all your information on Xbox Live. Bam, here you go.
Yeah.
And here's the update.
Yeah, and like if we see you're moving over from Xbox One X to Scarlet, and then that's where the cloud streaming stuff can come in too. Is be like, hey, while your Scarlet update is downloading, we can stream the stuff that you're downloading while you're playing the Xbox One version of the game on your Scarlet. But we can stream the assets that the Scarlet version requires to you while it's downloading in the background of your gameplay session.
And it doesn't. And bam, you just it recognizes it. Maybe do 5 minutes, like install, and then bam, push you on the way and starts doing everything in the background while playing.
That's what I'm saying. You know. So, I think we just did it.
Yes, we did. So, we're going to be talking more about this. I think definitely when I believe there's going to be a Halo Infinite trailer at the Game Awards.
I think they
said they announced it. But we want to hear what you guys think. Is Microsoft, taking Halo Infinite and Gears 5 and like I said, in this open world kind of roadmap for it? And we haven't even talked about 2019 and Scarlet and stuff, but like Halo Infinite and Gears, and definitely what Corey just said for Halo Infinite, just that plan alone, that's major. But we want to hear what you guys think. You can email us at arsenalxpodcast@gmail.com. Also, and before I get into more plugs, I kind of want to say this. We are running a contest here on Arsenal X. And what this contest is that me, Corey, and Jesse are going to vote for Game of the Year. You have a chance to actually win that copy of Game of the Year. But this is what you must do. You must join the YouTube channel, Arsenal X Xbox channel. Join us also on Facebook, our Arsenal X NGR's Radio Xbox podcast group. You have to email us on arsenalxpodcast@gmail.com. Put your Game of the Year and kind of give us a little description on why it should be Game of the Year. Like kind of nominate why it should be Game of the Year. We really want to hear.
They should post their Game of the Year stuff and why it should in the Facebook group.
Yeah, they could do that too.
That way, it's easier to track that stuff.
So you want to do it in the Facebook group?
Yeah.
Also,
why not?
Oh, okay. Post it in the Facebook group, but you have to be a part of the Facebook group and our YouTube channel here on Arsenal X. That is required. We cannot give if you're not part of the group, we cannot give you a prize. Join us there. Follow us on Twitter at Arsenal X Podcast. You can also follow us on Instagram at Arsenal X Podcast. You can find Jesse at Phantom Maggot AX. Corey, where can we find you?
You can find me at CoreyNHD86 on Twitter and Instagram, and you can also find me on twitch.tv/CoreyNHD, as well as on Nintendo Pal Block and Nerds Gone Rogue podcasts and those YouTube channels and NGRradio.com.
Yes, you guys can find me on Twitter at ThatRetroCode, and also check out my podcast Optional Opinion on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play, TuneIn, other podcast apps. Check out AX Plays, Squad Goals, Royale with Cheese here on Xbox, NGR Radio's Xbox podcast group on or Arsenal X Xbox channel. Sorry, looking at the Facebook thing on our YouTube channel. Check us out on Wednesdays at 7:30 on NGRradio.com and on our YouTube channel. Please subscribe and hit that bell. But we really want to know what you guys think about this. So post your game nomination, the Game of the Year nomination, and why you think it should be Game of the Year. Please. It has to be Xbox related or Microsoft related. It could be on Windows 10. It could be on Xbox One, and it has to be 2018. It cannot be backwards compatible games. It has to be something that came out this year on 2018. So if it's an indie game, and it came out this year, it's a good nomination. If it's a first party or third party, good nomination. And so we need that input. And yes, tune us on the YouTube. We really have a lot of great content on Arsenal X on our Xbox podcast, so you guys can check it out there. But yes, thank you guys for tuning in. As always, we got to throw up the X one more time.
And one for Jesse.
And one for Jesse. Yes. Also, everybody, before we go, I'm sorry, Corey. So next week we're going to be doing our roadmap episode. But we're also going to talk about the good and the bad of 2018 from Microsoft. So we would not have any Arsenal news next week.
Well, we're going to be talking about the Game Awards next week too.
Yes. So we got multiple things. The following week we are doing Home Alone commentary. So you guys will be able to check that out. We are going to be taking a break, but I believe it's the 28th. We're going to be recording our Game Awards, so you guys will be seeing that episode on January 1st. I think that's a Wednesday. I think that's January 1st. It's a Wednesday. Or January 2nd. So you guys will have something new for that. But we will be taking a break after that and then coming back again. So when you guys see the January 2nd episode, you won't get a AX that following week. That is our plan. So hopefully you guys will tune in and enjoy, because I really can't wait to talk about the Game Awards and our personal Game Awards. You guys will have to wait and see our very own titles that we're going to be bringing into this. And also, like Corey mentioned, we got the NX Challenge. When we come back from January 2nd, we're going to break down on how that is going to go. Hopefully you guys can partake in it, show pictures, write a little bit something about what your plan is for it, and hopefully you guys will do some more. Do you enjoy it from your backlog, or do you enjoy what's current? So that is it. Everybody have a great week, have a great weekend, and we'll see you next time on Arsenal X podcast. Bye everybody.